Greetings everyone, Majin Bird here, diving into yet another intriguing topic that's been making the rounds in our discussions. Today, we're delving into the controversial assertion that Goku and Vegeta possess only planetary levels of durability. It's worth noting that this viewpoint often surfaces from individuals outside of the Dragon Ball fandom, aiming to diminish the series' impact, or just overall downplay its power. Let's explore the three main arguments they present, and dissect why they might not hold up under closer scrutiny. First on the list is the clash between Goku and Frieza on Namek. Critics highlight Frieza's statement that Goku won't survive the impending explosion, with Goku himself seemingly in agreement. This has led some to conclude that Goku's durability is capped at a planetary level. However, Dragon Ball aficionados are quick to point out that Goku's survival is attributed to more his escape techniques. The second contentious moment revolves around Semi-Perfect Cell's explosion attempt to destroy Earth. Goku promptly instantaneously transports him to Kinkai's world. The subsequent destruction of Goku's current location suggests to some that Goku's durability is only at the level of a planet under attack. The third point of contention arises in Resurrection F, where Frieza annihilates Earth, seemingly wiping out everyone, including Blue Vegeta. Detractors argue that this incident implies even as gods, Goku and Vegeta possess only planet levels of durability. However, Dragon Ball enthusiasts argue that this interpretation looks over the nature of the attack and the character's subsequent development. It's important to acknowledge the narrative context and the evolving power scales in the Dragon Ball universe, which transcend simplistic comparisons. One more noteworthy event often cited is Kid Buu's destruction of Earth, resulting in the apparent demise of Mystic Gohan and other Z-Fighters. Critics argue that this showcases Goku and Vegeta's limited durability to planetary levels of scaling. In essence, these claims, when scrutinized closely, appear to oversimplify the complex dynamics of the Dragon Ball series. Rather than indicating a ceiling on the character's durability, these instances often showcase their strategic thinking, escaping capabilities, and the evolving nature of their power level. It's crucial to approach these debates with a nuanced perspective that appreciates the intricacies of the Dragon Ball universe. Let's delve into the climactic battle between Goku and Frieza on Namek first, a pivotal moment in Dragon Ball lore. As the fierce confrontation reached its zenith, Frieza, overwhelmed by frustration and defeat, resorts to a drastic measure, deciding to detonate Namek in a bid to vanish Goku. However, scrutinizing this pivotal scene reveals nuances that challenge the notion that Goku's durability is limited to a planetary scale. Critics argue that Frieza's attempt to destroy Namek should have spelled doom for Goku, given the apparent threat level. However, Dragon Ball enthusiasts counter this by citing instances from earlier sagas where Goku, in a significantly less powerful state, demonstrated the ability to withstand attacks with planet annihilation potential. Notably, during the Saiyan saga, Goku showcased resilience against blasts capable of obliterating the entire planet. Moreover, the Daizenshu confirmed that Vegeta, a key character in the saga, possessed the capability to destroy Earth with his power. These instances underscore that even in his Super Saiyan form, Goku's durability surpasses the mere planetary level. Adding another layer to Goku's formidable prowess, Frieza, at full power, effortlessly deflects a full-powered attack from Vegeta that was on the brink of annihilating Namek. This feat showcases Frieza's own durability and reinforces the idea that Goku in his Super Saiyan state wields striking power and durability beyond that confines of planetary limits. The canon series Dragon Ball Z Kai further solidifies this perspective when Frieza launches a full-power death ball at Super Saiyan Goku, who not only intercepts but also redirects the attack into deep space, resulting in the destruction of an entire planet. This pivotal moment serves as concrete evidence that Goku's capability extends far beyond the mere capacity to withstand planetary-scale threats. To address the specific circumstances surrounding Namek's impending explosion, it's crucial to consider Frieza's acknowledgement that Goku could indeed survive the explosion itself. However, the crux of the matter lies in Goku's inability to breathe in the vacuum of space, presenting a fatal predicament. In essence, Goku faced the prospect of succumbing to the harsh conditions of space rather than the cataclysmic destruction of Namek. Now, let's delve into the gripping saga involving Semi-Perfect Cell and the dramatic self-destruction gambit he undertook to decimate Earth. In the bid to end Gohan's relentless assault, Semi-Perfect Cell opts for the ultimate destructive move, attempting to obliterate Earth and everyone on it. Goku, the selfless hero, steps in to intercept this cataclysmic explosion, sacrificing himself along with Kinkai's planet in the process. However, delving into the details of this moment reveals subtleties that challenge the notion that Goku's demise resulted solely from the scale of the explosion. One contention arises from the characterization of Kinkai's planet as more of a sizable rock than a conventional celestial body. I argue that its detonation shouldn't have posed a threat to Goku given its distinctive nature. The particular absence of lava or discernible core, even after Goku's powerful punch through it in Battle of Gods, supports the notion that it's more akin to a rock than a typical planet. Moreover, the presence of oxygen along Snake Way, where Kinkai's planet is situated, dispels the idea that Goku succumbed to the vacuum of space during this explosive encounter. The crux of this matter lies in differentiating between the destruction of the planet and the self-destruction initiated by Semi-Perfect Cell. Skeptics contend that Cell's attack was merely at planet-level scale and shouldn't have been fatal for Goku. However, a nuanced analysis reveals that Goku at this juncture wasn't exerting himself to his full potential, rather than a display of full power. Goku seemed to accept his fate, anticipating the inevitable outcome of Cell's self-destruction. Crucially, Semi-Perfect Cell's self-destruction act wasn't a run-of-the-mill planetary attack. Cell had amassed an unprecedented amount of power, transforming into a colossal balloon of energy that defied the limits of his previous form. This transformation exceeded even his own full power, showcasing the extraordinary nature of the impending explosion. Notably, it proved lethal for even Master Super Saiyan Goku, a form far superior to the Namek Saga Frieza, who demonstrated the ability to withstand planetary explosions. Drawing on the scaling from Super Perfect Cell, who exhibited solar system busting capabilities, the power behind Semi-Perfect Cell's self-destruction explosion is contextualized within much more broader cosmic scale. Scaling down, this implies that Semi-Perfect Cell should be comfortably classified as having casual destructive potential, ranging from at least multi-large planet to star level. Now let's delve into the intriguing phenomenon of characters in the Dragon Ball universe self-destructing, a desperate and powerful tactic that often leads to the outcome surpassing their typical capability. The Cybermen, seemingly inferior to Yamcha, individually demonstrated the potency of self-destruction by eliminating him effortlessly. Similarly, Majin Vegeta, despite facing adversities against Fat Buu, unleashed a devastating self-destruction attack, reducing his formidable opponent to mere smoke. This recurring theme emphasizes that self-destruction can propel a character beyond their usual limits, albeit at the irreversible cost of their life. Applying this principle to Semi-Perfect Cell's self-destruction becomes integral in the understanding of the magnitude of the event. Critics who label Cell's attack as merely planet level overlook the established pattern that self-destructive actions elevate a character's power exponentially. Master Super Saiyan Goku falling victim to this technique is thus not surprising, considering the historical context of self-destructive moves in the Dragon Ball narrative. Addressing the incident involving Frieza and the destruction of Earth adds another layer to this discourse. Frieza's decision to obliterate Earth to eliminate Vegeta draws parallels to the situation with Super Saiyan Goku. However, the nuanced details reveal that Vegeta's demise is assumed rather than confirmed, with the possibility that he suffocated in the vacuum of space after Earth's destruction. Notably, Whis' subsequent statement that Frieza could have survived the planetary explosion underscores the resilience of characters like Frieza in the face of such cataclysmic events. This hints at their capacity to endure planetary explosions, raising questions about the true cause of Vegeta's fate. Vegeta was much more powerful than Frieza in his blue form, so there was no way that he could survive the attack, but Vegeta couldn't. Let's think about that. Furthermore, Whis' observation implies that Frieza's intent was not solely to kill Goku and Vegeta by blowing up Earth. Instead, Frieza's strategy seems to revolve around suffocating them in the vacuum of space, a testament to the intricate tactics employed by characters at Frieza's level. Now turning our attention to the cataclysmic event orchestrated by Kid Buu, where Earth met its explosive demise, the devastating aftermath claimed the lives of nearly everyone on the planet, sparing only a few selected individuals, including Vegeta, Goku, Mr. Saiyan, and Fat Buu. However, the survival of these individuals is not indicative of the lack of the planetary durability among their fallen comrades. Instead, a closer examination reveals a crucial fact that those who were perished were rendered defenseless and unconscious. Following the extraction from Buu's body and the subsequent explosion into the vacuum of space, the majority found themselves in a vulnerable state of slumber. Unconscious and unable to defend or react, the unfortunate victims succumbed to the harsh conditions of space, a predicament exacerbated by their inability to breathe without the support of an habitable environment. This vulnerability, while not reflective of a lack of planetary durability, underscored the susceptibility of Saiyan characters when caught off guard, a vulnerability demonstrated in the past instances such as Goku falling prey to Sorbet's laser when his guard was down. The scenario with Mystic Gohan emphasizes a critical point. Saiyans, unlike Frieza, can be considerably susceptible to damage when in an unguarded state. Saiyans when asleep or when their defenses are lower lack the capability to withstand otherwise survivable threats. Expanding on the intricacies of Saiyan training methods is noteworthy to highlight Goku's rigorous training routines. During his training with King Kai or en route to Namek, Goku subjugated himself to full power Kamehameha waves, aiming to overpower his own energy output as a means of enhancing his strength. This practice not only emphasized Goku's relentless pursuit of strength, but also implies a direct correlation between the destructive capabilities and his durability. In essence, Goku's willingness to test the limits of his own energy attacks provides insight into the interplay between offensive power and defensive resilience. In conclusion, it becomes evident that the arguments surrounding the supposed lack of planetary durability in Dragon Ball characters often overlook the nuanced circumstances surrounding their vulnerabilities. These instances are not indicative of inherent weaknesses, but rather showcase the vulnerability of characters when caught off guard or in compromised states. Next time these arguments surface in discussions, this analysis can serve as a comprehensive response, dispelling the attempts to downplay the Dragon Ball complexity and the depth of the universe. The infamous incident involving Goku and Sorbet's laser attack that seemingly took down the mighty Saiyan in his base form. This particular moment has become a focal point for critics from various fandoms who use it to question Goku's prowess and undermine the entire Dragon Ball Z series. In this video, we aim to thoroughly analyze and debunk the misconceptions surrounding this laser feat incident. The idea that Goku, a seasoned warrior with numerous power-ups, could be susceptible to a mere laser has stirred quite a bit of debate. To address this, let's explore Goku's extensive history by facing formidable adversaries, starting from his nearly encounters with the Red Ribbon Army during his childhood. Back then, in Goku's youth, he confronted tanks, helicopters armed with rockets and missiles, and even withstood a flamethrower capable of melting through steel. General Blue's point-blank jet afterburners failed to phase the young Goku, further highlighting his early experiences with formidable weaponry. Goku, after decades of training, power-ups, and battles against the strongest beings in the universe, should not succumb to a laser attack. This perspective overlooks Goku's earlier feats, where as a child he survived machine gun bullets from Bulma, and took King Piccolo's explosive demon wave, obliterating an entire city, even at his young age. Goku displayed remarkable endurance and resilience. To contextualize, Goku's survival skills were honed through training with various mentors like Master Roshi, King Kai, and Korin, yet he demonstrated a remarkable resistance to danger even in his formative years. Goku faced challenges that include machine gun fire, explosive waves capable of wiping out entire cities, and battles against adversaries like Piccolo, whose strength surpassed even Master Roshi's, who led to the destruction of the moon. In essence, the laser feat incident becomes more understandable when considering Goku's consistent exposure to extreme conditions throughout his life. It's crucial to acknowledge that Goku's vulnerability are not solely physical, but also lie in the personality traits. Notably, when discussing weaknesses with Goku and Vegeta, it was mentioned that Vegeta's arrogance was his vulnerability. This insight proves as a nuanced perspective, suggesting that Goku's momentary lapse in vigilance or overconfidence may have contributed to the unexpected outcome. Following the encounter with Sorbet's unexpected laser attack, Goku found himself in a moment of vulnerability, a state where he was caught off guard due to his lighthearted laughter. The subsequent unexpected blow to his chest served as a wake-up call, prompting Goku to acknowledge his weaknesses, a tendency to be too at ease, not taking opponents seriously, and consistently suppressing his full potential. This vulnerability was further emphasized when Goku recalled a famous filler scene in which Krillin threw a rock at him while he slept. Despite his usual resilience, Goku reacted with intense pain, screaming in agony as the seemingly harmless rock struck his face. This incident serves as a poignant example of Goku's susceptibility when off guard and highlights the importance of maintaining vigilance in battle. Expanding on the theme of Goku's vulnerabilities, let's delve into another instance when Goku faced Frieza, demonstrating impressive defensive capabilities when on guard. Goku casually deflected Frieza's death beam with a smirk, showcasing a level of invulnerability to attacks that would normally be devastating. He even redirected Frieza's attack with his spare hands, inadvertently causing destruction of a planetary scale attack outside of Namek. The analysis extends to other encounters as well, such as Trunks confronting Frieza's supernova. When Goku and his allies are on guard, they exhibit the ability to withstand formidable attacks with ease. Goku, when not on his guard, can be harmed by attacks that are much weaker than him. Understand that this concept is not exclusive to Goku, but is prevalent across different fictional universes as well. Besides Goku, let's switch to Vegeta for instance, deliberately suppressing his power during a Zenkai attempt to face Frieza. In doing so, he allowed himself to be vulnerable to an attack from a seemingly weaker opponent, highlighting the strategic use of power suppression. This strategy isn't limited to Dragon Ball and is a common plot device across various series. Saitama, the seemingly invincible character, succumbed to a cat scratch, showcasing even a gag character isn't immune to low-end or plot-induced weaknesses, if you consider him one. Similarly, Superman, often portrayed as nearly invincible, has encountered moments of vulnerability when caught off guard or facing specific circumstances. In essence, the argument that a character can be defeated because they were harmed in a low-end scenario doesn't account for the nuanced nature of storytelling and character dynamics. Whether it's Goku, Saitama, or Superman, vulnerability exists when a character's guard is down and when they intentionally suppress their power for strategic reasons. This phenomenon is not specific to any one series, but is a narrative tool used for a wide range of fictional universes. Consider the example of Thanos, a formidable figure capable of incredible feats, yet there is a time when he got arrested by regular cops. Even characters like Darkseid and Silver Surfer, known for their cosmic prowess, faced situations where they were overpowered by regular humans, showcasing the narrative trend of characters having low-end moments. The concept isn't limited to villains or anti-heroes either. Even superheroes like Batman have instances where they seemingly overcome beings of immense power, such as Spectre. This could be attributed to plot-induced moments, gag instances, or instances of parody, emphasizing that virtually every character in fiction has encountered a low-end event. Explaining these events becomes crucial as it might be due to characters being caught off guard, inconsistencies, or in some cases, intentional comedic or plot-driven elements. It's essential to not take such instances too seriously, as they often serve specific narrative purposes and aren't indicative of characters' maximum durability or their power. In summary, when someone uses a seemingly low-end feat, like a character getting hurt by a laser, as a logical excuse for defeating a powerful character like Goku, it's important to approach it with a level of skepticism. Such instances are often exaggerated or taken out of context, and dismissing such arguments become necessary to maintain a coherent understanding of characters' capabilities. In conclusion, the laser feat shouldn't be taken as a serious indicator of a character's overall strength. If someone uses it as a basis for discrediting a character like Goku, it's advisable to ignore such arguments and focus more on substantial aspects of characters' lore and feats.